drunk, let the revolution take its toll. If you could, I think a switch and open your third eye, you'd see that we should never be afraid to die. Rise up and take the power back. It's time a fat cat's had a heart attack. You know that their time's coming to an end.
Communism, socialism, fascism, all forms of centralization come from the financial elite to consolidate power. America is the shining city on a hill, a plum. And if they can capture it fully, they can dominate the globe. This will destroy our freedom and our liberty, not just for our children. We won't have to wait, but for us. Here's the Times of London. Domestic terrorist, as big a threat as Al-Qaeda, says FBI head Robert Mueller. Here's AP, similar headline. It goes on and on and on. Any dissent is going to be called terrorism. Are you going to roll over and go along with this? It's a life and death situation to expose false flag government-sponsored terror. If you don't expose it, they'll continue to carry it out. We've already caught them dressing up like Nazis nationwide to demonize anybody that doesn't want the government to jack taxes up and take over our lives. All right, I'm going to stop ranting. I've got some other news I want to get to, but right now let's go to your calls. Please have your question and comment ready. Mike in California, you're on the air worldwide.
How you doing, Mr. Jones? God bless your whole team. You guys are phenomenal.
You're asking how I'm doing. I'm not doing good because I've been proven right again. Everything's happening just as we foresaw it.
I hate to confirm your broadcast, but I've been living what you've been talking about for the last 5 years directly at the hands of a local municipality. Stole a limousine, disseminated a working business that was probably making more money than they were on my own efforts. And they've been pounding on me pretty much ever since. I sent you 18-page fax 3 Saturdays ago. I sent you a multi-page email last night, one with Senator
Sir,
Fox's
I am just
letter in it.
flooded with people having their kids taken, their businesses taken, people being abused. It's in the news that judges are taking money under the table to put innocent people in private jails. I mean, it's just wall-to-wall corruption. What's on your mind, Mike?
Well, a couple of things. Actually, I have an alternate fuel system I've designed that works pretty good. I'm working on refining, but again, they're disseminating every effort I have for work. It's kind of been holding me up, but that isn't what I'm calling to cry about at all. I wouldn't mind getting that point across to you, though. I've been flooded in here, so please, I apologize for stammering. Show tip for you on the report of a couple of detectives raping a chick. One of them says he forgets what even happened, although he was taking pictures on his cell phone to his other buddy while it was happening, the whole 9 yards.
Oh, yeah, I see reports every week of cops raping women, and it's not saying the average cop is bad, but they're protecting the bad cops. Mike, I got to jump. Pete in South Carolina, you're on the air. We're going to move quick here. Pete, go ahead.
Yeah, Alex, I just want to know, I know there's a march coming up in Washington on next month at the end of the month, and I was wondering if you were going to be there.
No, I'm not. But, I mean, Oath Keepers had to cancel their Tea Party march because violence was threatened against them. That's what the government's doing. It's threatening violence, sending hippies dressed as Nazis to discredit us. This is another form of false flag frame-up terror. It's out in the open.
Okay. Well, also, if I might add, I was wondering, since we're talking about this nuclear attack that they're planning, I looked at the NLE-10, and it says that it's going to be at the end of next month.
Yes.
What are the odds that they attack on that day of the march in Washington? Because we all know Washington's the most broke and unproductive of the whole, whole United States.
Very well said, Pete. Here's the reason we're so freaked out about this. FEMA wants this document suppressed and is telling newspapers not to report on it. We have the newspapers saying they've received letters from FEMA up on Infowars.com. Mainstream news reporting this. Over and over again on 7/7 in London with the train bombings. The government ran a drill. The exact same targets attacked at the exact same time. That's BBC News, ITN TV, London Guardian. 9/11, drills were ran. Oklahoma City, BATF ran a drill. The building began attacked that morning. It's been come out in federal documents. The FBI was there running the whole operation. That's what I'm saying. Drill after drill. Because most of the government, 99% of the government, is not involved in terror attacks, not involved in criminality, not involved. But they're surveilling, and they've got good agents out there and detectives and local police detectives. And so if they actually find a real terror attack, they then say, oh, it was part of a drill. Go back to 1999. Vladimir Putin, vice president, very unpopular. He's not going to be elected. He's the vice president of the drunken thug that they had in at the time, Boris Yeltsin. 3 apartment buildings are blown up in Moscow. In a 4th building, local Moscow police in a suburb find FSB, Federal Security Bureau, planting bombs on the columns. And then Putin comes in and says it was just a drill. So see, I mean, they do drill after drill after drill, and they had drills on 9/11. Go ahead. He dropped. Let's go to Victoria in Virginia. Victoria, you're on the air. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for everything that you're doing. And just to let you know, we're praying for you every day.
I need it.
Thank you. 2 really quick things.
No, I'll probably have black sedans following me home tonight. I mean, I mean it. Thank you.
No, really, Alex, you do have a lot of people praying for you because, you know, of the fact that you are brave, that you will stand up and tell the truth when, like you said earlier, most people will stand in the middle because they are too afraid to do anything, and you know, they just want to straddle the fence, and that's not the way to go. So we really appreciate I
appreciate you.
Thank you. 2 really quick things. One, they still have one of the nukes missing from a couple of years ago when they were trying to, you know, do a false flag.
That's right. Minot, South Dakota, 2 nukes were taken. One is absolutely. It's incredible.
And that's frightening. And the other thing is really quick. This morning I read an article from Newsweek on the front page of MSNBC where they are saying that they need to resurrect the MIAC report because of the bad veterans and Christians and all of this. And I was just shocked, saying that we are threatening them because we want them to uphold the Constitution. And I thought, what nerve.
Well, I mean, ma'am, again, I'll go back to last January. State police send me one document. A federal marshal sends me the other federal master document. I mean, that's in the Kansas City Star, Associated Press, that we broke it. And it said gun owners, veterans, conservatives, and now it's confirmed veterans are being tracked by Homeland Security. And now the FBI admits they're tracking veterans, and they're training youth corps. New York Times reports, in fact, pull that up. I just Googled Boy Scouts Homeland Security. It's the first link. New York Times. To take on veterans. And, I mean, this is the equivalent of a Soviet takeover. This is a Red Dawn, but run by our own supposed government. And yes, I've seen it all over the news without even looking for it. I see it. CNN, MSNBC, you said you saw it on another channel, saying that, oh, look, the MIAC and Homeland Security reports were right. Domestic terrorists are the American people. Anybody who doesn't want this takeover is a terrorist. I mean, how long did I warn people this was being set up for us? There's the New York Times headline. Scouts train, put it back up for me. Scouts train to fight terrorists and more. Let me see the first paragraph. It says 10 minutes into an errant mayhem in the town near the Mexican border, and a gunman, a disgruntled Iraqi veteran, has already taken 2 people hostage. And then they have photos where they send 14-year-olds in with machine guns to kill a U.S. vet. And see, I've covered the drills. And 90% of the time or more, they're training to take on the American people. None of it has to do with Al-Qaeda. It's all for us. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you know, what you're saying is absolutely right, but it's like, what nerve that they want to attack us because we want them to uphold the Constitution and follow the rules and regulations that this country is governed by.
Exactly. They're the traitors. They're the usurpers. They're the offshore banks overthrowing America. So, of course, they're saying, real Americans saying this is our country. We're the sovereign citizens. You're not going to violate the Constitution. Of course they're saying we're terrorists. That's what I'm saying. Look, how transparent is it that they've been hyping that domestic groups are going to attack? I said it before they were hyping it because I know their game plan. Now they're doing it. Now it's all happening, and I mean, they're prepping the public for this to happen. Victoria, God bless you. All right, more of your calls straight ahead, 888-201-2244. I'm going to blitz through calls in the final segment, hit a few other news items, but yes, I'm desperate. Yes, I'm hyped up. Yes, I'm yelling and screaming. Just like you yell and scream about some football game, I yell and scream about reality. I love this country. You have a choice to make, America and the rest of the world, freedom or slavery. Both major parties are controlled. every president we get, things only get worse. But clearly the globalists are making their move right now. We have to stop trusting government. We have to get informed. We have to get involved. We have to stand up against the system. We have to cut government. It is taxes that fund this cancer. Our military spends almost $2 trillion a year. The foreign banks get tens of trillions a year. Many times what our taxes are. They're running us deep into debt. They're bankrupting us by design like a third world nation. And they're saying that anybody that criticizes anything the government does is a racist or a terrorist. How much more transparent does that have to be?